She's not sorry.
Okay, please.
Please, let's start. All right.
Would you first introduce yourself and then tell me what we're looking at?
Well, I'm Gaëtan from Ressence, and we're looking at the talking piece of the SHH 2018, the Ressence Type 2 E-Crown concept. And concept is not a marketing name, it's just purely because this is the concept. The production version, we hope to be able to launch it and to be seen on the wrist later this year. Probably on the third quarter, but we're working hard, and Benoit and our team they have been working very hard in order to at least show the prototype here at SCHH. The Type 2 E-Crown concept, simply said, is the first ever mechanical watch that set itself, automated setting. The first thing to understand a bit, to put it in context, is that Ressence as a brand, we are pretty young. We started in 2010, so we are 8 years old. So starting from there, we definitely have no legitimacy to look back in the past. Mm-hmm. We have no archives to dig into. What we like to do and what we want to do is to look forward, to look into the future, and to look and to see the mechanical watch at the relevance of a mechanical watch, at the functionality and at the experience of a mechanical watch, and trying modestly to bring it into the 21st century. We have the feeling that watchmaking is one of the few industry that is stuck in terms of technology. You don't really look into the new technologies, and I understand that at first sight you look at it from maybe a bad angle, but we believe that it's possible to bring new technology inside a watch, and not to replace, but to enhance the experience and the functionality. And at the end of the day, when you think about it, all the innovator back in the days, if you take an Adrien Philippe that invented the crown, for instance, Abraham Louis Breguet invented the tourbillon, it was all about function. It was not about art, doing something nice looking. It was something about the function of a watch. And we believe that with the E-Crown, we just did that, but with the available technologies. Mm-hmm. The same way they did with the available technology. And whereas you have, when the quartz arrived in the market, you had what we believe two directions the watchmaking took. There is one that took the quartz way, let's say, because the function of a watch was not there anymore. It was the quartz what was replacing all the function, I would say, and making it better. And then the fine watchmaking to another road, more about into the art, into the craftsmanship, into the finishes, and making an art piece on your wrist, which is fine. And thanks to that, Ressence can exist today. But what we're trying to do with the Type 2 E-Crown concept is being in between, the best of both worlds. Mechanical, but with the trust and precision of electronics. Voilà, that's a bit the context of why we did it. So the technology in itself, it's I'm gonna show you a little picture of that is the E-Crown. So E-Crown is an electronic device, an embedded system that is gonna make possible for the watch to monitor itself, to adjust itself, to set itself. And the first thing that we wanted and that we took care is that this is electronics, so of course it requires electricity, it requires energy. And we are in fine watchmaking, we don't want to plug in our watch at night. So what we created first is source of energy. The first one is the Kinetic Generator. So this Kinetic Generator is surrounding the base movement. So the automatic base movement is there, and there you have the Kinetic Generator. So using the same as an
automatic one.
Yes, exactly.
It's a rotor.
It's a rotor.
Yep.
This is a rotor, so that's exactly the same as the automatic movement in itself. So it's wrist movement that's going to charge the E-Crown. That's the first source. then we did a backup, let's say a source, which is triple junction photovoltaic cells. They are actually hidden between shutters, a system of shutters. Here you see on the prototype that is here, we open the shutters, and under the shutters you have photovoltaic cells. So we're using the outside lights, and we're using not only photovoltaic cells, but triple junction photovoltaic cells.
Are you saying the shutters are these?
Yes, they are normally closed.
Yeah.
And they open when needed. So usually when the e-crown is down to 50%, they open. And we for the show, we just open them because we're charging everything. I'm going to show you, that's a video. I don't know if you can make a video of a video. That's not, of course, the best, but I'm going to show you how they work.
And just those little cells are enough to charge?
Yes, but the main source is the kinetic generator.
Okay.
And then that's really as a backup, but they are triple junction. Triple junction meaning that you can use red light, white light, and blue light in order to charge. So it's satellite stuff. Huh? So it's quite efficient.
Okay.
Here it's a little video of of the shutters, so they are closed, opening itself. Boom.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's completely, again, when we talk, there is the functionality, but there is also the 21st century experience.
Right.
This is quite a bit Star Trek-ish.
Can you do that manually?
Alors, you can, but we're jumping to another thing, is that via the app, because you know that we did an app, we can open and close. But normally, everything we do at Ressence is not for the show.
Yes.
So normally there is a function, and we did it because we know that, the owner of a Type 2 e-crown concept would like to show it a bit to see it, but so you have an open close on the app. You can. So the first thing that it covers is that it's a self-sufficient technology. Therefore, it's a self-sufficient watch. You have an automatic movement, you have a kinetic generator, you have photovoltaic cells. The watch, you can go to Alaska, you can go in the middle of desert, it will work, it will function. That was very important for us.
Just like any mechanical watch.
Any mechanical watch.
It doesn't need electronics.
It doesn't need
And it will
electronics.
adjust the time zone in places like that?
More or less, I will explain. Okay. So, then again, we are in fine watchmaking. We have 3 different ways to use the Type 2 e-crown concept. We have the first, which is purely mechanical mode, e-crown off. It was important, we are in fine watchmaking, that this electronic device assistant can be switched off. Meaning that you in a way answer the question that a lot of people are asking about the I don't know in English, but the obsolescence. Obsolescence of electronic part. Here the watch function, this watch right now, where the e-crown is not functioning, but on the other one, yes, is functioning. You can see the seconds or whatever, it's functioning. So it doesn't require the e-crown. Then we have a semi-e-crown, I would say, mode, meaning that we use the e-crown, but we register the 2 time zones, because the e-crown can register up to 2 time zones, via the case back, so still manually. And then we have the third mode, which is full e-crown. You use the e-crown on the watch, and you use the e-crown app. And you will see that all the modes, they offer different kind of convenience and performance. And of course, the full performance being the full e-crown mode. Basically, how does it work? What you're going to do is that we have a selector. I'm going to show you the selector in this paper because you see it in bigger. The selector is located just there in the center of the shutters. That's the selector. How can you use the selector? Quite simple, I would say, but it's touch sensitive by the glass. So basically, you awake the watch by double tapping the glass of your watch, and then by single tapping, you're entering the mode. So what do you have? You have a first tap, and you enter in the program time zone 1, manually. So what I said, we are in semi-e-crown, I would say. Huh? So what you do is that you double tap, the watch will indicate that it's awake, so it's going to do zzz, zzz, just to indicate it's awake. You single tap and you arrive to the program time zone 1. You're going to use the lever, and you're going to set the time of your watch. when you set the time, let's say we're in Geneva, you're gonna put it at 2 o'clock, it's 2 o'clock, you're gonna double tap your watch to say to the e-crown, this is now the reference time. You need to register this time. And this will be the reference time used for future monitoring, adjusting, and self-setting. What is very important to understand here, that is, our technology is autonomous, meaning that you learn the time to e-crown. It doesn't rely on GPS or radio signals or whatever. If in Geneva it's 2 p.m. and you decide to put the watch at 4 p.m. to say it's 4 p.m., it's 4 p.m. for the watch. So it's you who decide and learn the time to your watch. On this mode, when you use the lever, the self-adjusting and the self-setting is precise to a minute. I will jump onto that when we use the app. And the beauty of that is that you can register up to 2 time zones. So you can register your time in Geneva, and let's say you go to Dubai, you register the time of Dubai, you put it manually, you double tap it again, and you have up to 2 time zones. So when you land in Dubai, you just awake your e-crown, you go in time zone 2 by tapping 5 times, and it sets itself to the Dubai time.
Do I have to tap in a particular place or anywhere on the crystal?
No, anywhere on the crystal.
So what?
Here, in the center of the crystal.
So what is actually picking up that tap?
It's an accelerometer inside the e-crown.
Wow.
How big is that accelerometer?
Everything is very, very small. Everything is small because you see the watch, you see how thin it is also. It's actually the e-crown is much more located on the side of the rocks. You know that you saw a Ressence. A Ressence uses a base movement, and then you have the rocks or complication module on top.
Yes, it's thin.
It's thin. It's thin because it needs to sit well on the wrist. I'm jumping into design, but look at also this. Those little holes, let's say, are made for your bone here. In order to sit.
Just show that again.
Yeah.
Those two little indents.
Adhere in order to really ensure that you have a perfect fit on your wrist. Small details, but life is about details.
You just got 3 thumbs up for that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. So now, that was, if I may compare now, I do an analogy with car industry, but you know, when you're using e-crown off, it's like using a manual gearbox, a manual clutch. When you use the e-crown, the semi-e-crown with the lever, I compare it to be an automatic gearbox because it's still shifting but with paddle. Now we go to full automatic, you don't have paddle anymore. So what do? Is that you saw that was that was time zone 1 and time zone 2. But there is a little blue here, blue for Bluetooth. Basically you awake again e-crown, you're gonna tap 3 times on the glass and you arrive to Bluetooth mode. So you pair your watch with your smartphone, and with an app, you have a scroll down menu of cities, or it's gonna recognize also the time of your smartphone, and you can set to your watch the time zone 1 and time zone 2 very easily. So it's even more convenient because if you're in Geneva or Dubai, you just go scroll down, you send it. So it's the ultimate convenience, and then performance, because then the self-adjusting and the self-setting is to the second.
Ah, okay.
So in full e-crown mode, it's to the second. In semi-e-crown mode, it's to the minute. And then after, you are in the good old days. That's how the Type 2 e-crown concept works and has been thought. So, as you see, what we try to do is the best of both worlds, because the watch, it's still ticking. It's still doing a tick-tick-tick that we all love. But then imagine, because I didn't explain the self-adjusting and self-setting, so let's put it into user experience in how do you use it. It's that the self-adjusting, meaning that every day, when you put your watch on your wrist, every day, the e-crown will adjust if needed, if the watch is going a bit slow or a bit up, to the minute or to the second, depending on the e-crown mode that you use. It's going to adjust itself every day, so you can trust again the time of your mechanical piece. And then, when e-crown is fully charged, 100%, you put it on your bed table or on your safe, and 2 months later, you put it back on your wrist, the watch will, as soon, you just put it back, you don't wind it, you just put it back on your wrist,
It's
the
already fully ground.
automatic movement will start, and then it will set itself to the registered time.
But is it already wound when you put it back on your wrist?
It's not. But why do you wind your mechanical watch? You wind it because if you don't wind it, it's not working perfectly, the mechanical
Yes.
movement. But here you don't need that because it will adjust itself. So
But-
you will know that it will be the right time.
But even if it sets the right time, I still have to wind the watch for it to keep the next 5 minutes.
No, because the automatic
Oh, okay.
rotor will and there will be the self-adjusting also.
Okay.
So you know that you really have to put it on your wrist and you're good to go. And you're
Okay.
good to go. I will try to do it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna double tap the glass of the watch to awake the E-crown, and then after it will adjust itself to the correct time because I just did it on the wrong time.
Sorry, how do I see that it's woken up with the double tap?
You will see it because the minute hand will move,
Okay.
and then after it will adjust itself to the correct time. It's
Okay.
awake.
Yes.
It adjusts to the right time.
So
Now I'm pairing with the watch up here. Now you see that it adjusts to the right time here. I'm gonna edit and gonna choose, maybe for the date, Benoît, tu peux changer l'heure. I'm gonna try to choose Paris,
okay.
Paris, Europe in the app. I send to the watch, and the watch is now adjusted to the time of Paris.
So just to make it clear, this watch does not look any bigger than the previous watch.
It's even thinner.
It's even thinner.
And yet you've got the accelerometer, you've obviously got some kind of little motor and gearing inside it.
A kinetic generator, a photovoltaic cell, a processor, an accelerometer.
And it's a fully manual, a fully
it's a
mechanical watch.
Yes, you can use it, you can wind it, you can manually set it, you can still do what we did before, plus the intelligence of and the trust of digital.
Because in my mind, I thought you actually put the watch on something. I didn't realize it was just Bluetooth pairing to the phone.
On this one, but again,
Yes.
you don't have to use it here. We're showing, but you don't have to use it. If you don't want to use it, you don't have to. It's a plus.
Can you just show us once more, double tap,
I don't
and
know.
then...
I don't know if it will do
Oh,
it again.
oh.
Allez, I can try. I will try for you
No,
because
no one-
we don't
no
have a lot of energy and we have a lot of show.
No, it's okay, no one's watching.
Yeah. Wait. That's not true exactly. You're filming everything, so.
Yep. Thank you.
So Jan is requiring another one, so we'll see, huh?
Oh yeah.
So what do you-
this
what-
is your. Okay.
If it doesn't work, I will...
Yeah.
Edit.
Okay, so double tap?
Yes.
Just to see that
Attends,
wake
because
up?
actually it's the right time.
Wait,
He's got to make it the wrong time.
we have to put it to the wrong time,
Yeah.
so
fair
that
enough.
you see it goes
Yep.
to the right time.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay.
I love that. You're
Yeah.
now setting it to...
That's. I think that's over, hein? Si, à mon avis. À mon avis, elle s'est pas mis correctement, donc à mon avis, elle a plus de.
it needs a
Elle a
bit
plus
more
d'énergie.
bits more energy. So,
Yeah.
in fact, if we hold it under the light for a little bit longer,
Then
we'll
it goes.
charge up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we do. Huh?
Okay.
Right now, we charge it up because. So I'm sorry.
And
Well, you saw one. You
if
saw one.
if we ask the price, will we be shocked?
Well,
No.
no, you would not.
No,
it
no,
depends.
Are you shocked with the prices we have?
No.
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 Well, you won't with
But
this one.
the thing is that just to put it, we don't know yet. Right now, those cost a nice house in Geneva.
Yes.
That's for sure. Ouais, vas-y, vas-y. But just to put it in perspective and to know, a Type 3 or more complex
Yes.
and expensive watch is 400 components, and this is 500 components. So
It's likely to be more than the Type 3.
Yes, and there are some components that are more complex to be made. You saw the rocks that are even more convex, so it's even more complex to produce. Huh? It's not a single or not a two-axis CNC machine, and therefore, yeah, we think it will be around the region of a slightly bit more than a Type 3. That's what we believe,
okay.
but we don't know yet.
And does it still have the fluid technology inside?
No,
or
this
is...
one is without fluid. Huh? No.
So what you've done then is actually make the indications very close to the dial.
Very close to the dial. Yeah. Very close to the glass. Yeah.
Yes.
Very close to the glass.
Sorry, the glass. I mean,
yeah, very close to the glass
And Bombay.
Bomber. So you really have that feeling as well.
Okay.
And the rocks is also a new generation of rocks. Meaning
Sorry,
that
rocks?
the rocks, yeah, that's the name of our complication.
Okay.
Of the disc, let's say.
Yes.
And it's a new generation, and we go even more refined because you know that there are tiny gaps between all the discs and rings.
Yes.
And they are now up to 35 microns, so
the
it's
rocks
much more
module.
refined. Yeah.
So it's basically the module that comes on top of the base movement, so to move the dial the way that the Ressence dials move.
Yeah. And it's more than that because it's really coming, we use from the base movement only the minute information, and the rocks, if we look at the type 3 that we don't have here, but that indicates the hour, the date, the day, all this is coming from the minute from the base movement. That's the rocks that regenerate those temporal indications. From a base movement, the ATA base movement that we use, it's only the minute. That's why we always say it's a stripped down to the max, because we don't even use the crown system.
And when will this be available?
As we said, we hope, 2018, that's for sure, and we hope the third quarter of 2018.
Okay, so you expect to be delivering this year?
Yes.
You're taking orders now?
We're taking orders now.
Okay, you heard that here. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.